Welcome to episode 26 of Lawyers and Libations with Rebecca and Sarah.
We've been gone a while. We're really sorry. We basically fled the country or state for a bit, so we haven't been here.
And I'm exhausted. I'm glad that we're here. I'm definitely unraveling slowly at the edges, so apologies.
Where have you been, Rebecca?
We got back from Wisconsin yesterday.
And you had all of your in-law family there.
I did have the in-laws, a little family vacation, lots of funny stories to tell.
How many dogs did you have there?
So Ryan drove up our puppy Jack, who is now a 9-month-old golden retriever from hell. Yep. And he, alone, he's actually a really good dog, but my in-laws have a 1-year-old female golden retriever who just got out of heat.
It's just dog sex everywhere.
I have never seen a hornier animal on the planet.
I don't have time for that at all. That's gross.
The great news is there will likely be Christmas puppies. So anyone that wants a golden retriever, we may have 8 to 10 available.
They're like, she's Christmas. Out of heat. Oh, just kidding. She's now knocked up.
I mean, Jack's exhausted. He's been sleeping ever since he got home.
All that banging at the lake. That happens.
So kids and I got back yesterday. Ryan got him at 1:30 in the morning.
Because he drives,
dog.
Right?
He drives the bikes and the dog.
He just likes his alone time.
I mean, he gets to listen to books on tape and not listen to kids fight. It's not a terrible strategy.
And did you tell me this morning that he misplaced his wallet?
Even better than that. So first he calls me at 10 o'clock last night from Tennessee to let me know that he is running about 30 minutes behind schedule because it was pouring down rain when he filled up with gas, and he took off from the gas station and didn't realize that he did not take the gas pump out of his car.
No, the hose. It did not rip off.
It ripped off. But he didn't know. So he said, this car's chasing him and bright lighting him.
And he's like, not today, Satan. You're not going to kill me.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to get married or murdered in Tennessee.
Or married.
Or married. That would also
he had some weird shit going on in the woods.
And so he looks out and realizes that the gas pump is still attached to the car.
Is the gas place that he left exploded and on fire now?
Well, apparently they have a safety mechanism in place.
God.
Yeah, so I guess if you drive off with it, it automatically shuts off. So he drove that back and dropped it off, but didn't realize he'd also left his wallet there earlier.
So he went back and still left the wallet.
So he had to fly out early this morning and woke up at 6 in a full-on panic because he couldn't find his wallet. Which was in Tennessee.
at the gas place. Yeah, so that's fun. They're probably going to put a charge on your card for replacing that fucking hose, though. I'm thinking that's probably...
It's funny because there was a random $200 charge on the Amex. And so I'm wondering if in retrospect that was...
They were like, thank you for coming back so we know it's you. And you left your wallet. That was so kind.
What that is.
See?
Because I was like, what did you have that was exactly $200 at a gas station? Mm-hmm. It was the hose.
It was the hose. See, I'm sure he was thrilled. So, knowing Ryan as well as I do, because I do absolutely adore him, but he is anal as fuck. So that had to have annoyed the shit out of him.
Oh, I mean, his head has exploded. I'm kind of glad he's up in Princeton or New York or wherever he is.
How long is he gone?
I think till tomorrow night, late.
Okay.
I don't know.
And he's going to be able to get home without his wallet and stuff?
Global entry card, and I gave him my Amex. So I was like, may the force be with you. Yeah, good luck. I'll see you in a couple of days.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not driving back to Tennessee.
No, maybe not. No. And you had some very funny shit happen to you while you were actually on this trip. I think Jack decided he'd had enough of everyone as well.
He did. So my father-in-law, Bill, is very entertaining and took to this high-pitched squealing every time Jack and Regina, is her nickname, it's really Reggie.
Oh, I was
we call her Regina. Every time they were getting frisky, George. And he'd start oh, somebody come help. So he started doing that the other night. Hunter taught me how to play backgammon, and so Hunter and I are very enthralled in this game, and Grandpa started screaming again about Jack, and he was laying in bed, and Jack went and jumped on the bed and took a dump right beside Grandpa.
That's some karma shit if I ever heard it. What did Grandpa do to deserve that? I would like to know. That's some fun karma.
He's a piece of work. He tells a lot of funny jokes. So I think that was Jack getting back at everybody. But he also, I was hysterically laughing. I couldn't stop. The tears were just pouring down my face. And then Hunter went into his room, and come to find out, Jack had also peed in Hunter's bed.
And then it was not as funny.
No, and it may have just been because Jack is in this now very hormonal male teenage boy dog stage. So I think maybe he was just letting everybody know he was boss.
When do we chop off those nuts? When does that happen?
I wanted to wait until he was 2, so his bones were good and his head was good and big and blocky. But my last golden Sully was a much more gentler, kinder, less hormonal soul. So I don't think Jack's going to make it.
Do you want me to take him for you?
Maybe.
I mean, it sounds like it's a lot. I would go ahead and recommend chopping those off, real quick.
I'm going to try to make it to 18 months. Yeah. It's like my goal. But if he stays this frisky...
He's going to start humping your leg. Hey, wait, isn't he humping George too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no. Yeah. Max will hump my mom's Cavalier King Charles. Max is obviously the 9-pound little bastard from hell. But he jumps up on her and I'm like, dude, stop it. But he's 9 pounds, so I'm like, you can just kick him with your foot, and he goes flying.
Jack's 75, and he takes his front paws and he'll just wrap around whoever he sees. Oh my God, it is the craziest.
No, dude,
as soon as he figured out how to do it, he was like, I've got this.
He's in for dog rape. He's like, no, just let it happen. It's gonna totally be fine. I did
puppies.
Yeah, no. Well, but no, we don't need puppies. We don't need more puppies. No, that's been awful for you. I did have also a shit incident at my house where I had one of my Roombas. My mom came into town and one of her dogs went to the bathroom on my antique silk rug underneath my piano, and my Roomba went just right on through it and just kept right on going, just dragging it everywhere. I was like, fucking
just
die.
The worst smell.
Yeah.
Well, I did bring you some gifts from Wisconsin.
I love this. What is it?
So 2 things. Well, really, one is us for us to drink. So I guess it's like a mutual gift.
Yeah.
So the big brewery up in Wisconsin, I think actually the only place you can get it is in Wisconsin, is New Glarus. So this is their Spotted Cow, which is their lager.
Oh, okay.
It's delicious.
All right.
And actually,
do we have an opener?
We do have an opener. This fancy Escape to Wisconsin opener that I have for our refrigerator.
That is fancy.
But so this beer is it's on tap everywhere. It's actually, I think it's better on tap. Well, does it even work? I'm going to use the other side. Maybe I'm not very good at opening up beers.
Yep, there you go.
Clearly, I was drinking a lot more gin and tonics in there. And actually, I brought a 12-pack for the locker room guys.
Oh, yeah.
They'll on the air, but I thought they would.
They might.
So
there's some rough mornings.
This is a very delicious lager from up there.
Oh, hey, that is delicious.
It's refreshing.
With like a little lemon.
Cheers.
A little lemon, a little salt on the rim.
Yep.
Phenomenal. Mm-hmm.
So I brought us this.
I like that. That's good.
I got you a goodie too.
Yes.
So they have this really amazing shop in Minocqua, which is near Lake House. And Ryan and I saw this koozie and immediately thought of you. It says, I'm a ray of fucking sunshine.
Obviously, I am. I mean, let's be honest. Nobody can deny
cheers. That is.
I am a ray of fucking sunshine. Yes, I actually am. So thank you for that. Thank you for recognizing that. I mean, I say it a lot. Some people dispute me on it, but
Yeah, we immediately saw that and we both go,
it's
that looks like Sarah.
There she goes. So. Well, the one thing that I got in Vancouver Island, the only little thing that I brought home was like this little, like they've got those little wooden things that look all like hand done and authentic, like painted, like the old signs. And it just says, what in the actual fuck? And I brought that home for the office.
Perfect.
I was like, I'll take that. Thank you. Put that in my purse. I appreciate it. Thanks. That was great. So, yeah. Speaking of what in the actual fuck, let's talk about the election for a minute. That great debate of 2024 that just occurred. What are your thoughts on that, Rebecca Kirkland Hallberg?
I mean, that was awful.
I've never seen no shit like that before in my entire life. I'm not even kidding. I was prepared for it to go differently. And it was like watching, I saw some meme that was like, if you're abroad and not a U.S. citizen, please turn off the TV and let us sit in our own fucking embarrassment while our old folks home people fight.
Well, and what's frustrating and what I don't understand is, I lean pretty lib. You're much more liberal than I am, but we're definitely pretty strong Democrats.
Yeah.
I can't believe Biden's people let him go into a debate or suggest a debate knowing that
what
was going to be the
fuck?
performance. Just don't have a debate.
Don't have a fucking debate. I was happier in the dark. I don't want to know. Do you know why? Because I think that Biden has a lot of brilliant people around him that things are going to be fine, even if it's like a weekend at Bernie's situation and they've got him like propped up there and good decisions are being made by the best and brightest. Fine. Sounds great. Don't fucking parade him out to where you're like, oh my God, somebody give him something right now, like an Adderall. Like I saw another meme that was like, me trying to give Biden an Adderall through the TV. And I was like, fuck, man. Are you kidding me?
No, well, and I think about our relationship, in a law firm. Like if one of us knew the other was going to give a poor performance on something, A, we wouldn't let him do it.
Nope.
And B, if they did, there'd be some serious conversations afterward. Like, are you okay? Are you going through a midlife crisis?
What's going on? Do you have a drug and alcohol problem? Did Trump, in fact, slide you a roofie before the thing? That would have been my fucking whole argument. If I was his PR person, I'd be like, just like he's drugged women before, he definitely slipped Biden a roofie.
Definitely did it to Biden.
Didn't.
And then what has made me crazy kind of in the aftermath is kind of the changing excuses afterward. It's like, oh, well, he had a cold. And then, well, he was tired from traveling.
I'm sure all of those things are true. He's fucking 81. He's exhausted.
Yeah.
We saw beautiful Barack Obama come in with all the fucking swagger into the presidency, and he left with a full head of white hair. Like, if you do it right, that schedule is so unbelievably demanding. It's going to age you 30 years. If you go in there at fucking like 77 years old, you don't have a chance in hell, which is the reason why he said, I'm going to be a one-term president. The fuck? Okay, well, what are you doing now?
Well, now he said he can do it, but only from 10 to 4 and with naps.
Wait.
You didn't hear that?
Wait, was that actually said? Or is that a joke?
Yeah, no, it's not a joke.
By whom?
Well, it's been on, so...
Who said, I haven't heard this yet. Who said this?
So
10 to
he was
4
like,
with naps,
he really should just be doing things between 10 and 4, and he needs to have lots of naps. But so then I'm like, well, then I don't want you leading our country. Like,
no, you can't.
And I like Biden, but like, where is some young? We just need some young talent.
So I was
on both sides.
Yeah, I was having a discussion on both sides. Couldn't agree more. Like, I was having this discussion with our friend Natalie the other day, and she said she feels guilty as a fellow member of Generation X, which I am as too. Thank God I just made it. That we left this power vacuum, right, where our generation decided that they could, because usually like the aspiring people who want power and money and all those things, they go into politics, right? The brilliant kind of minds who are kind of pretty narcissistic and all those things. But in our generation, they went into tech, right? And so they left nobody, I mean, very limited people our age ready to step up, or, you've got to be groomed from like a younger age, and you've got to jump in young, and then you've got to put in your time, and you've got to do the House, and you've got to do the Senate, and you've got to figure out how these things go, and I don't know, maybe be a fucking ambassador, learn about other countries, whatever it may be. Our generation shit the bed on that. And Natalie,
we don't have anybody.
No, we have absolutely fucking nobody.
It's terrifying. But
there was a shirt that I was doing two things. One, I was getting a shirt on Instagram that came across that said, Giant Meteor 2024 just ended all, which I was like, I'll take that right now. And the other thing I was doing was looking at property in Europe through the entire fucking debate. Like, my family was in, my dad and sisters and stuff were up in North Carolina, and I was at home. And right at the exact same time, I'm screaming at the TV, like, no, 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 no. My family took a picture of my 80-year-old dad, and he had his hands over his face like this, like losing his shit. And I go, that's about the time that I was screaming at the fucking TV. And I was like, I can't watch this. Fortunately, our girlfriend Callie came over midway through the debate, and we just went to the porch and drank tequila.
I was at the USA Panama game, so they were playing here for Copa America. And so I wasn't watching it. Ryan was watching it, and he's the more conservative of the two of us, and starts blowing up my text between us losing to Panama. But he's also like, this debate is the worst thing I have ever seen for the Democrats. He was
Ever
like,
seen.
This is awful.
Ever seen. Well, and you also you had no one fact-checking Trump at all throughout the entire thing.
Because Biden can't do it.
Biden can't do it, and the moderators sure as fuck weren't doing it. They were like, great point. Let's move on. I'm like, what the fuck? Can we at least have like a fact checker running on the side? Anything? I mean, like, it was so absurd. There was, I think my most favorite reel that I saw come after the debate was Grumpy Old Men with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau, right after Walter Matthau found out that Jack Lemmon was, I don't know, having sex with somebody that Walter Matthau liked. And he runs his truck. They're up in Wisconsin or somewhere like that, and they're ice fishing. And he runs his truck and he pushes it over, and they're like shoving each other. And he's like, "Did you?" And he's like, "What?" He goes, "What?" He goes, "What?" And then they both sit there and they look at each other and they're confused and they go, "No, but what? What do you think?" He goes, "Well, did you?" And he goes, "Did I what?" And I'm like, that was the most accurate. Like, both of them fucking just could not formulate thoughts or words or truths or anything. And so July 4th, I sat there. I didn't even feel like going and watching fireworks at all, because I just got my 3-foot-long sparkler and went out into my front yard and just waved it around sad. And I was like, well, democracy was a really fun experiment. This has been a great run. Everybody loves the fall of an empire. So cheers, everybody.
Cheers
fucking
to Dictator
hell.
Trump in 2025.
Fucking kill me. I'm Europe 2025 or bust. Woo!
Well, so I ended up going, I love a good podcast. And so, I'd listen to the Daily and all of like my regular, liberal media. Mm-hmm. And my brother is a big conservative. And he was like, you need to listen to Megyn Kelly. Mm-hmm. So now I've been listening to her like every day for an hour and a half. It's probably filling me up with too much craziness, so I'm going to have to cut her off. But I've become very addicted. But it is crazy hearing like the conservatives.
You see my face.
I know.
Right?
I knew
okay,
you were going to be like, I'm not okay with you listening to Megyn Kelly.
What in the fuck?
But it is interesting. It's like, so from a conservative side, like they don't want Biden to drop out, right? Like they're like, don't replace him. Please keep.
Of course they don't.
Biden.
Right.
And Biden doesn't want to leave, so I'm kind of curious. I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, I would be, I wish Biden, I think that to be in politics at that level, I think even if you're a really good person and you actually do care about the country, I think that you have to be a fairly large personality and, pretty narcissistic and think very highly of yourself. I think that there should be more people telling him how they actually feel, that care about him, around him, and urging him to do something. But then, okay, which I'm on board for that. I mean, and if he doesn't, I will fucking be there, and I will be trying to get out voters and trying to do all the things that I normally do. But who are we going to replace him with? I mean, we need like some middle-aged white guys from red states. That's really about the only thing that can, because let's be honest, they're not going to elect a woman. Heaven forbid.
I mean, and you and I chatted about the other day, like Michelle Obama is the only person that I feel like could unite the entire
That's what I said. I fucking
Democrats,
love Michelle Obama.
but like,
yeah,
she's not the one to do it, right? Like, she's already been in the White House.
Of course, she doesn't fucking want to do it, but she needs it. Maybe we could get. This is going to be very controversial. Taylor Swift.
I don't hate it.
I mean, I don't fucking hate it, because here's the thing: she'd bring with her like so many more votes. She would get the young people out there, but does she have time to run the country and drop 3 albums and tour in like 450 cities?
And is she old enough? What do you have to be?
35.
Is it 35? Mm-hmm. Okay. Is she 35 yet?
I have no
She's a
fucking
baby.
idea.
Why don't you run? I can't run, but you could run. Other than your potty mouth, I feel like you're.
I think that could get me votes. And any pictures that may surface from, like my youth or something, I feel like those could get me more votes too. Like, I feel like it would be fine. That used to be a thing where you'd be like, I can't run. There might be pictures out there. After Trump, I feel like anything goes. So
particularly if you don't let it hurt your feelings, you're just like, whatever.
Yeah. Well, plus when I was like 18, 19, I was super hot. So I'm like, that would be fine.
Like that stuff.
Not anymore, but then I feel like that could get me more votes. But no, I don't want to run. I think if I win, I probably will run for something at some point, because I am passionate about that. But it will be after Adeline is out of the House, and it also sure as fuck isn't going to be president, for God's sake. Let's just keep it like local.
Nobody's stepping up, though. So
I know.
I'm curious to see what happens over the next week or two.
I'm going to kill myself. So, anyway, welcome to 2024.
Don't do that.
Couldn't be happier. So, let's pivot to one of the shows that people have been watching recently, Bridgerton, the new Bridgerton. Have you watched the new Bridgerton?
I am... I can't watch it when my kids are around.
There's lots of sex.
All the sex and the boobies. So I've watched, I think, the first 4 episodes.
Oh, that's better than me. I watched the first 10 minutes and then realized what it was about and stopped watching it.
I don't love... So this, for those of you that haven't watched it yet, it's about Penelope and Colin. She's also not my favorite character in the show. She's kind of annoying and whiny to me anyway, which isn't, obviously, she's just not my favorite. And Colin's kind of a dork.
Nerd, yeah.
I mean, he did get hotter when he went away for a couple of years, but he still isn't.
He did. He came back with a lot of swagger. But I think that they have been giving her a lot of flack, or Bridgerton a lot of flack, for having a heavier set woman with a thinner male, and how that could be hurting viewership. What's your opinion on that, Rebecca?
So it is a thing. So it's called a mixed weight romance.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah.
They
It's
actually
like a thing.
coined a term?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They did. And so it's interesting is like you think back on TV shows and movies, and there are tons of mixed weight romances where the men are bigger than the women.
Well, it always is.
Oh, yeah, like
the
Homer
women are,
and Marge Simpson.
Yeah. Oh.
Well,
shit. What was that? There's so many of them.
We watch Young Sheldon all the time, George and Mary.
Yeah.
I think it's very common, particularly in sitcoms, to have, a bigger guy with like this tiny, perfect
Yeah, but not just
wife.
like bigger guy, but like fat.
Mm-hmm, like a funny fat guy.
A funny, fat dad. And then the wife is still like hot and petite and all of the things.
Mm-hmm. And so it wasn't a big deal, and now people are making a big deal out of it that there's no way that these people would end up together in real life.
Oh, which is bullshit, because there's plenty of dudes that like heavy-set women. So that's actually 100% false.
And she's clapped back a little bit, which I like. She's like, it's not my fault that y'all are jealous of these great breasts.
I did hear she has perfect tits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and that's, that just the fuckery that women have to go through. That's absurd. But I may have a controversial opinion. There's lots of people who heavier set things, or heavier set people having sex may be their jam. It's not my jam. So if I'm going to watch porn or Bridgerton or something like that, I just want them to be really hot. I mean, it makes me sound like a dick, but like I like the first Bridgerton. God, the two of them were so hot together. The dude was so hot.
Episode 4, I was like...
Fuck. Episode 4. I mean, I might have replayed that thing like fucking 7 or 8 times alone time. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
That was a very good episode.
When I realized that this 3rd season of Bridgerton was that's just not my thing. But it has nothing to do with the fact that she's heavy set and he's thin. I don't want to watch a fat guy have sex either. I really just don't. So it's not it's not sex shaming, and it's not even fat shaming, because there are lots of people that is their type, and I think that's phenomenal. I think everybody should do their own thing. That's just not my thing.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. But yeah, I just think it's BS that it's everybody's mad about the girl, and I'm like, that's completely ridiculous.
Yeah, that's because you need to be 105 pounds and have no cellulite and have thigh gap and perky tits. They have to be big, both also butt, but no cellulite and no fat to actually make it natural.
Right. And your thighs can't touch.
Yeah, fucking bitches.
It's completely unfair.
Yeah.
Well, so we don't really have any legal tips this episode, but this will kind of get into it a little bit. I thought we could go through some good travel tips.
Ooh, yeah.
For the summer.
Yeah, I've got all the travel tips. I'm there with you. Number 1, if you don't have global entry, get global entry immediately, or at least TSA pre-check. But if you're traveling abroad, global entry, because your friends will not fucking wait with you in the normal line.
It makes me think about both you and Ryan were so irritated with me before I had TSA pre-check.
I would just leave you.
You would leave me. Ryan would leave me. And I would just be alone sitting in the long line. So now that I have global entry.
I would get you a drink, though, at the lounge. But so Donovan and we flew to St. Croix for our friend's wedding. And he, too, does not have TSA pre-check or global entry. And I go, I'm sorry, this might be a relationship breaker. Like, I'm not fucking doing this. And so I was like, just give me your bag. I'll check it in. You go get in the regular fucking line. Like, I'm not going to do it with you at all. So if you don't have global entry, just get it, and that automatically gives you TSA pre-check. And the good news is when you fly back into the States, you can do your interview when you land in Atlanta. If you're landing in Atlanta, you walk right on in and you say, "Oh, I'm already tentatively pre-approved," and you do your 5-minute interview.
And they're like, done.
"Have you molested any children or killed anyone?" No? Okay, you're fine. In.
Which brings up, for me, travel tip number 2 is if you have global entry, there's actually an app on your phone. You don't even have to talk to anybody when you get back after you've been approved for global entry, not beforehand. But you look at your app when you land, and it takes a picture of you on the plane, which is always terrifying after a international flight.
Are we drunk? Maybe.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably going from a trip. But then that goes automatically to the main desk. And so then when you come down through the crazy long line, they basically like look and see if the picture matches and they wave you through. You don't have to show a passport.
You actually blew past me last time we did that. And I was like, what? And where is she?
I was like, I got the app.
Yeah. I was like, where'd she go? This is bullshit.
Get the global entry app.
Yes.
Another actually brought a little prop for my third tip. Don't travel with, I don't know, things that look like freaking knives.
Is that a switchblade?
Well, going through TSA yesterday in Milwaukee, thank God we were in Milwaukee and not Atlanta, they pull us over because Hunter had a switchblade comb in his backpack.
Is that from like West Side Story?
Well, they just watched The Outsiders, and so they all had to dress
so it is like West Side Story. Okay.
But so I saw like his bag get pulled off to the side, and so Ryan had just dropped the 3 kids and I off at the airport. And Hunter's like looking at me like, because he's my panicker anyway, and his eyes get really big. And I was like, what is it? And he goes, I think my switchblade comb is in there.
He's like a huge bag of cocaine.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not a 12. And I was like, dude, why do you have that? And he goes, well, I just forgot about it.
I really like using it because it's cool.
So then they all put on gloves, and there are like 5 people holding it. And they're like, is it a knife or a comb? And I'm like, he keeps going, it's a comb, it's a comb, it's a comb. He's like, please, I promise. And they were like, so management came out, and then he held it, and he goes, son, you should not bring this on an airplane.
But it is actually a fucking comb. It's not contraband.
But it looks like, but so then the guy gave it to me, and he was like, your mom can take it. He goes, but don't travel with it again.
Oh, my God.
Now I have possession of switchblade comb.
Until you get home. Then you can give it back to him. Poor little baby. So I've got not so child safe tips. So I heard a story recently about one of our friends' ex-husband who's traveling with their daughter, and he may have a bit of a drinking problem. And he was pulling into a bar, which she's not allowed in because, she was, I don't know, 10, 12, something like that. And he said, go over there and sit at the gate where I can see you, and go in. And he went into the bar to have a drink. Right? Okay. Child trafficking. Are you fucking kidding me? So I was discussing this conversation with one of my friends, and he said, okay, if you have a serious drinking problem where it's like a medical condition and you're going to get the, DTs or whatever the fuck it is. He goes, you always travel with mini bottles. And he goes, that way they go through security, they can go through your bag. And if you need, you can go into the bathroom and fucking pound one. So that's my not safe for anyone who's not a raging alcoholic tip. I wouldn't recommend that if you're just a casual drinker. But if you are a serious drinker, instead of sending your preteen daughter to the fucking gate, maybe you should not do that, or go to a regular restaurant. Could also work out where they could come and you could have a beer there or something. Anyway, the fuckery is real on some of these trips.
Or another travel tip, you and I both are going to, let's take your Yeti.
Always.
And then when you go to the Delta Sky Club, just get a roadie.
Yeah, it's the loudest, though, clinking, pouring when I get my vodka soda, and it goes clink, 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 and everybody looks, and I'm like, how's everybody doing? Always do that. And you also bring your Yeti if you're going anywhere where it's hot, because it will keep your drink cold. So if you're at the beach or at the pool or anywhere tropical, bring a Yeti, because then your stuff's not getting all watered down and terrible.
And then my other, regardless of the weather, travel tip, I think I've done this since high school, is I take a bathing suit everywhere I go. I don't care if it's hot or if it's cold. I always have one, ideally in my carry-on. Because you never know what might happen.
Well, yeah, you don't want to be naked in the hot tub with strangers. That would be weird.
Nope. Mm-mm.
I support that. And then pack light, for fuck's sake. Again, Donovan, if we're going somewhere for like 3 nights, he will pack for 2 weeks because he wants to have multiple shirts and multiple short options and multiple things. No, you bring, for a girl, you bring a long dress, a short dress, a couple pairs of shorts, bathing suit, some tank tops, sports bra, running shoes, sandals, heels. You're fucking done.
Donovan does like the double shirt though.
He does.
So maybe
I
if you
know
can break
actually
him
a
of that.
lot of guys that do that. They do like the cotton undershirt because like I guess it keeps them from sweating or like marking. I don't know what the fuck it is, but
then you have to pack twice as much.
pretty much everybody I've ever dated has had the double shirt thing, and I don't fucking understand it because to me it just seems like it's fucking hotter.
I'd be so hot.
I'd
you've
kill myself.
seen me sweat.
Oh, and this will be the final travel tip. But so when we were in St. Croix, if you're going to like a wedding or somewhere like that, and you are a sport parent, and you're one of those moms that has those fans that go around your neck, bring it. I wore it as my necklace with my full length silk wedding gown dress thing for the wedding. It's very helpful. So
I mean, it was so hot. I thought you looked.
I thought I was very sexy. Yes, everyone wanted to be with me. They were like, "Who's that sexy girl with that very attractive, large plastic necklace fan thing around
You
her?"
were cooler than the rest of us, though.
I was.
Sweating my eyeballs out.
Thank you.
Well, this was so fun. So
Yes.
a good little catch up.
Glad we're back. We will be back again, and then I think we're back on vacation again, and then we'll just keep. Good grief.
Keep on trucking on.
And then August will come, but I mean, it is hotter than the surface of the sun right now.
Hot. Yeah.
So fucking get me out of here.
Yeah. Well, cheers. So good to see you.
Cheers.
Hope you enjoy your new koozie.
Oh my God, I love it. I am a fucking ray of sunshine. You're not wrong.
So we'll see you guys soon on our next episode of Lawyers and Libations.
Thanks for joining us.